Hi everyone, and welcome to How to Slay SAMR in Your Classroom. My name is Grace, and I'm a future high school Spanish teacher working to build my teaching tool belt so I feel confident heading into my first year in the classroom. In this episode, I'm going to reflect on what I learned in my technology integration course, TEL 271, and how the SAMR model helped me better understand how to actually use educational technology in meaningful ways. I'll walk through each part of the model, talk about some EdTech tools I explored, and share how I plan to apply all of this in my future classroom. So first, a little background. The SAMR model stands for Substitution, Augmentation, Modification, and Redefinition. It's a framework that helps teachers evaluate how they are using technology in their lessons. Before this course, I honestly thought using technology just meant making lessons more modern, like replacing paper with a computer. But SAMR really showed me that there are levels to this, and not all technology use is equally impactful. In TEL 271, we explored different tools and discussed how they fit into each level of the SAMR model. That helped me realize that the goal isn't just to use tech, but to use it in ways that actually improve or transform student learning. So let's kind of dive into some of the tools that I used. Throughout the course, I used several tools, including Quizlet, Pear Deck, and Minecraft Education. Let's start with Quizlet. I see this mostly fitting into substitution or augmentation. For example, instead of using paper flashcards, students can practice vocabulary digitally. It's definitely useful, especially for language learning, and features like audio and games add some enhancement. I would absolutely use Quizlet in my classroom, but I wouldn't rely on it as a main instructional tool because it doesn't drastically transform learning. The next one I looked at was Pear Deck, which I found super engaging. This tool allows teachers to make interactive slides where students can respond in real time. I think this moves into augmentation and even modification a little bit because it changes how students participate. Instead of just listening, they're actively responding and engaging throughout the lesson. I would definitely use Pear Deck because it keeps students involved and gives me instant feedback on their understanding. And the last one that I took a look at was Minecraft Education, and it was probably the most interesting tool I explored. This one clearly reaches modification and redefinition. Students can build worlds, collaborate, demonstrate their learning in creative ways that wouldn't necessarily be possible without technology. And while I think it's a powerful tool, I would be more selective about using it in my classroom. It takes a lot of time to plan and manage, so I would just use it for specific projects rather than like everyday lessons. And thinking about my future classroom, I've realized that not every tool is worth using because it's available. I would definitely use tools like Quizlet and Pear Deck regularly because they're practical, easy to implement, and support student engagement. However, I would be more cautious with tools like Minecraft Education. While it has great potential, it requires a lot of structure and clear objectives to be effective. It also doesn't have a lot going for it in terms of language learning, which is where high school Spanish is mostly targeted. So it might not fit into my classroom, but it could fit into a classroom covering history or different concepts. The biggest takeaway from me is that technology should always serve a purpose. If it's not improving the lesson or helping students learn better, then it's probably not necessary. And so let's kind of dive into the benefits of the SAMR model. One of the biggest benefits of the SAMR model is that it helps teachers be more intentional. Instead of just asking, can I use technology here? It pushes us to ask, how is this technology improving learning? It also encourages reflection. I can look at a lesson and identify whether I'm just substituting a tool or actually transforming the learning experience. Another benefit is that it provides a clear progression. As a new teacher, I don't feel pressure to immediately reach redefinition. I can start with substitution or augmentation and gradually build towards more transformative uses of technology. Most importantly, SAMR helps ensure that technology enhances student engagement, collaboration, creativity, rather than becoming a distraction, which is really important now because attention spans of students are so difficult to grasp due to the existence of social media. So that's definitely important. And so to wrap up, learning about the SAMR model has completely changed how I think about using technology in the classroom. And it's not just about using digital tools, but about using them in thoughtful and purposeful ways. As I move forward into my teaching career, I plan to use SAMR as a guide to redesign lessons that not only incorporate technology, but actually improve student learning. Thank you so much for listening to How to Slay SAMR in your classroom. I hope this gave you some ideas and inspiration for how to use technology more effectively in your own teaching.